Because if a baby is there and is wet or has pooped and is crying because they need a diaper change and you're not responding on time, babies actually, after a while, they start to cry in despair because it's almost like I'm crying and nobody is listening or nobody is responding to me.
Welcome back, online viewers of Pediatrics To-Go family. We have another episode here titled Self-Esteem in Children. We're going to learn all about everything you need to know about self-esteem in children. So sit down, sit back and relax. Let's gist. So Dr. Sanusi, your cue.
Thank you, Francisca. Now, I don't know about doing everything we know about self-esteem in 5 minutes.
Okay.
But I want to start, we just basically want to go over the topic because it can be very expensive. Where we've just come through a pandemic, everybody's talking about mental health, and a lot of mental health problems were actually exposed by the pandemic, especially when you had people who had issues at home. And during the pandemic, they had to stay at home and spend time with people who they had never really had time to get to know, or they were running away from when they would go to school and come back. And school was kind of like an escape for them. Now, self-esteem is a very, it's actually a very important part of our mental wellness. And we're seeing a lot of children coming in with all kinds of issues with self-esteem. And the reason, a lot of it has to do with social media. So where you were comfortable being a little bit overweight, a little bit pudgy, a little bit different from everybody else, on social media, everything is, there's a different picture posted, and the people who have what is considered more attractive, who might not be as chubby as you, or might look a little different or do things a little different from you. They are more attractive and they have more likes than you. You know, there's a whole different world that has to do with what could be undermining a child's self-esteem. I would start with a baby. You start to build self-esteem in pediatrics right from when a baby is born. Babies, they say, are the most selfish people in the universe, because a baby is hungry. They're going to cry, wake you up at 2 a.m. or wake you up at 5 a.m. and let you know that, hey, mom.
They're even waking up. They don't let you sleep.
They don't let you sleep, exactly. And it's all about me, 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 me. But in the midst of a baby waking up soon after it's born and expecting you to feed it, to change its diaper, to keep it cool, to keep it warm when it's cold outside, or cool when it's hot outside, it starts to build self-esteem. Because if a baby is there and is wet or has pooped and is crying because they need a diaper change and you're not responding on time, babies actually, after a while, they start to cry in despair because it's almost like I'm crying and nobody is listening or nobody is responding to me. So self-esteem starts from when the baby is born. It's important to start to build your child's self-esteem from when they are young. Because if you do not, everybody talks about charity begins at home. If you do not start to build your child's self-esteem at home, somebody else is going to build it. And where there's a gap in a child being, there's a difference between spoiling a child and giving a child self-esteem or self-worth. So you taking care of your children and letting them know that you love them. A lot of parents, when we were growing up, would compare their children. Why aren't you like your big sister? Why aren't you like your little brother? Why aren't you like your cousins? Or you get, we are in primary school. The results of primary 1 comes out. You got 90, you got 85. The people that got 95, do they have 2 heads? Are they smarter than you? Do they look different? And a lot of Nigerian homes, that has been a very, can I say, a very unwanted narrative. Because if you are at the receiving end of that, oh, this person, so I tell people, look at this just for even just a synopsis of what we're talking about here now. So first of all, the child is born and the child is in nursery. Oh, which school does your child go to? Oh, my child goes to the school down the road, which is cheap and it's not. Oh, my own child goes to. There's already that comparison of my child goes to the more expensive school than yours. Okay, then next one is time to go to high school. Okay, you finish primary school. What did your child score? Oh, my child got 100%. Oh, my own child got 85%. So now you're already comparing and contrasting.
It's not good. Maybe like
50%. Okay.
60%.
So now there's that comparison. So you can't keep up because no matter how smart you are, there will be somebody smarter than you. No matter how beautiful you are, there will be somebody more fine than you. No matter how successful you are, there will be always somebody that is more successful. No matter how rich you are, there will be somebody richer than you.
Sure.
So that comparison, I mean, the good book says, the Bible says, comparing themselves with themselves are not wise. So I started my family with twins. And my husband and I made a conscious decision we would never compare them. Yeah. So if one child was good in math, the other child is good in history, we're like, yay! And we encourage them not to compare themselves with themselves. Inadvertently, twins will compare themselves with each other, even without trying. And the good thing was the children were good in the same things, and they would compete against themselves quietly. But when one of them would come and say, oh, I didn't get 98% like my sibling, we're like, so? That's your sibling. You're different. So we made a conscious effort not to compare them. And it was a very good thing because at the end of the day, everybody's life is different. True. And when you start, even as adults, no, I didn't finish the story. Mm-hmm. So now you have a child going to the expensive private school in England, while the other child is here in Nigeria.
University. Oh my God.
Going to.
That's such a huge comparison. Like that college one is very, very.
And then the college one.
Like you're not even trying in Nigeria.
Exactly. So, and then when your child graduates now, his next thing is, when are you getting married? It's like, duh. What's the rush? Then you get married. When are you having a child? Then when is your child? Which school is your child? And then it starts all over. It's a vicious cycle. So it's important and then you now talk about societies like North America, where you have different races. And the average Nigerian is coming with a Nigerian accent into a country where there's been a lot of racial division. So when you're talking about self-esteem in America versus Nigeria, in fact, the whole world is dealing with it one way or the other.
But I think for like Nigerians, we just have this mentality of trying to put up with it, whatever. Like there are so many children that like, if they say some things that their parents have told them, like you wonder how they're still able to like manage to survive. Yes.
I think there's something to be said about the resilience of the Nigerian spirit.
Yes.
Because no matter when we were growing up, adults in your family would tell you things like, things that you don't
even expect to.
Yes. And why aren't you smart like your sibling, or just that constant comparison. And parents, it's not good. It's not good. Every child, every human being has their own role. Everybody comes with their own worth. I encourage all my patients, especially because during teenage years, we have to do mentoring for the children. We have to also stick with the American Academy's American Academy of Pediatrics guide on mental wellness. And we ask things like suicide. Have you ever tried to kill yourself? Have you ever thought about it? And if there's that red flag, because there's a list of forms that we have to fill out for patients. And if there's a red flag as in, yes, somebody told me to kill myself, or somebody has suggested it, or I have thought about it, we have to send our children to the psychiatrist. And when they go to the psychiatrist, it's a whole different ballgame. So we need to stop comparing our children with other people's children. and we need to start affirming our children